Look at those 4 receivers that we have at the top of the depth chart. Pretty special. You got the best guy in the league. You got 3 incredible role players, and that's said with the utmost amount of respect. Guys who, all 3 of them, as I answered earlier, very settled, stable guys, mentally off the field, and that allows them to be very focused competitors on the field. I think Allen and Marquez and Randall have had really good camps. They each bring a lot of different things to the table, but those guys have been a big part of us kind of gelling on offense. I feel like offensively, you know, perimeter-wise, we've had a really nice camp.
Aaron Rodgers needs to just calm down, said nobody ever. Greg, does Rodgers finally have the weapons he's always wanted?
Well, what's interesting about this is every year we've been like, well, he needs another receiver. He needs more weapons. He needs more depth at that position. But now you listen to him and he's saying, we got what we need. We got basically what I need to be successful. And so I'm not going to argue with them. I think that they have a solid core. They all complement each other really well. They all do different things. You obviously got the #1 guy in the National Football League in Davante Adams. But I think the most important part and piece to this core is MVS, Marquez Valdez-Scantling. And the reason why is because he stretches the field, and his confidence, the way he played last year, the plays that he made, if he can catch a lot of those other balls that he did not and just take another step forward, he is the one that will pop off of the tape every time you turn the film on, alongside of Davante Adams. Randall Cobb is very important to work that middle, and Allen Lazard does a lot of the dirty work, the physical guy, the bruiser, the guy you got to have in your wide receiver unit room. But MVS, he has speed to burn. And if he is successful and consistent, which is a word that Aaron Rodgers uses when talking about him, he's the one to watch.
So here's the thing. I was just trying to look up the numbers.
You're back.
From the last time for the last time Aaron Rodgers, I should say, had 4 receivers he really trusted. And I feel like that ended in a Super Bowl and then a 15-1 season. And Greg Jennings was intimately involved in it. You, Jordy, Driver, and James Jones, to me is and tell me if you disagree, Greg, the last time there were 4 guys that he fully trusted on any given play. Now, I'm not saying this is going to have that same result where you guys win a Super Bowl and then the next year you go 15-1. Obviously, playoffs didn't go the way you had hoped. But I do think that this is what Rodgers has been, I don't want to say pining for, but one of the things that Rodgers has been frustrated about is it's felt to him, while they've been trying to develop the younger guys, MVS and Lazard notably, and let Cobb walk out the door, that he had Davante and then a big drop-off. And obviously there's still a big drop-off between Davante because he's so good, but Wilds, if he can rely on those other 3 guys consistently, it's going to make Davante's job much easier, and it's going to make this offense all the more dynamic.
Okay, I totally agree with you, and I agree with you too, Greg. But it reminds me a little bit of Brady, where we knew that the Bucs receiving core was excellent, but Brady still had something in his heart for AB, and they went out and got AB. We know that our old buddy Jake Kummerow still out there in Buffalo. You got to make a move for him, Goose. We know you can't have too many great guys. Let's get Kummerow. I know Beasley might end up just becoming a full-time MC, but and the price of Kummerow is going to go up if that happens. But go out and get Kummerow. It's a little extra benefit. It's like when you're giving somebody birthday presents. Here's one more. It's like Steve Jobs. Here's one more thing. New iPhone. Go get Kummerow, Gutenkoos. Can't go wrong. Kummerow.
Just real quick, Greg, did I insult you with the comparison, or is it a fair comp? I wanted to hear Wild's take, so I didn't get to ask you. Or is it it's a fair comp?
No, it's fair comp. It's fair comp.
Back Super Bowls. It felt like when the Bucs went into last season, they were like aggressively trying to get better. We got Tom Brady. Are we good enough? We got O.J. Howard. No, let's get Gronk. Oh, we got Mike Evans. We got Godwin. Nope, let's get A.B. All right, we're solid at the running back position. Nope, Leonard Fournette is available. Let's get him. Get better, get better, get better, get better. Then comes the offseason. They're in the parade like, no, nobody's going anywhere. We're going to sign all our starters. They're going to bring back 22 guys. And I think a lot of people out there are thinking that's what you do. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. So what's the balance of if it ain't broke, don't fix it, and if you're not getting better, you're getting worse?
Yeah, I think it's a good question. I think, number one, you have to look at how talented they are as a football team. And I'm talking about depth on defense. They're young on the back end of their defense, and they played exceptionally well in that defensive backfield. Their two linebackers, I mean, those guys are football playing Jessies. They can run, they can hit, they can cover, they can play zone, they can do everything. So I think when you talk about overall talent, you know, this league usually turns over at about a rate of about 30-35% from a roster standpoint. And you're talking about not only 22 starters, but they get Antonio Brown back. So it's like 23 starters that they retained. And I think the biggest thing is the drive of Tom Brady. And it is like I won't be surprised 5 years from now when he reveals that he's not actually a human. He's an alien. It won't surprise me at all, because the guy is so driven. And I'll tell you, here's the amazing thing: it's not your desire to play on Sunday, it's your desire to work Monday through Saturday that ends up ending your career. You just get tired. You get beat up. Your body breaks down. You're like, I don't want to do this anymore. And the fact that that guy isn't sated by 7 Super Bowls, 10 Super Bowl appearances, well, if you ask him what his favorite ring is, he'll say the next one, and he means it. And the effect that he has had on that football team, from he walks into that locker room and guys think they're professionals. Guys think they know how to prepare. Guys think they know all this stuff. And then they realize, oh, crap, I'm not even close compared to the way that guy works and the way that guy prepares. And that's what he has done for that organization. So he's absolutely amazing from that standpoint, and that's why I still give them a ton of credit for you know, the potential of winning the NFC.
Well, and so a point about kind of that line of thinking in regards to the Chiefs, and then a point about Brady. All of that is true as far as not being stated and the drive. I also think when you're doing the math on Kansas City, you've got to incorporate the fact that this is not a team coming off a Super Bowl. This is a team that was favored in the Super Bowl, and that was the worst game they have played since Patrick Mahomes took over. The fewest points, the biggest margin of defeat. It was the first time since Alex Smith was the quarterback of this team that the Chiefs have been beaten soundly. The first time they were beaten with Patrick Mahomes playing quarterback by more than 1 score. The first time they were held under 20 points with Mahomes playing quarterback, or second time under 20. First time under 10. So what level of extra almost motivation and we must get back there do they have? On the Brady thing, Wilds, listen, here's what happened with Brady. When he was 38 years old and 39 years old, folks such as myself were like, 40-year-old quarterback's never been able to do it. I think it's time to start questioning him. And then he won a couple more Super Bowls. And because of that, now there are less questions about Brady's age at 44 than there were at 39. And I am not afraid to step on that rake potentially again and say he is human and the dude's 44 years old. Like, if Stink's wrong that he's not going to reveal he's actually an alien, then it is not hating or unreasonable to say he is going to get at least slightly worse this year than he was last year, and then the previous year and the previous year, because he's 44 years old. It's George Blanda with, you know, better hair and a nicer chin. Yeah. Like, at some point, that is true. What's up, Wilds? What?
Yeah, I agree. Is that a new rule of the show? Can we do that from now on? Can we talk about great players aging? And then it being fair to question. I don't know if a guy was hurt 2 of the last 3 years. Is it okay? Can we do that on the show?
Absolutely.
Is that allowed now?
Once they hit 40. Once they hit 40.
Once they hit 40, okay.
No problem. So we,
okay.
Yes, LeBron's got 4 more years before you got to worry about it.
I didn't say